Yeah. And it's brutally cold and snowing and windy outside, so that's why we're filming in here instead of somewhere out, in nature. It's white outside, just snow everywhere. That's it.
Hey, welcome to Hashley Farms. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to do another question and answer style, get to know more about our wonderful, crazy life.
That's right. The first question is how do we handle laundry and cooking and like the simple day-to-day tasks, being that we have so many kids?
Well, right now we're still in a transition stage, having just moved and being in the middle of a renovation. We're not even in our right bedrooms yet. So things are a little off kilter right now, but I'll try to remember what normal life looks like.
That's our bedroom. Just a hole in the wall.
So, right now the baby has her own bedroom. We have a bedroom, and then the 6 oldest kids all share the largest bedroom of the house.
Yep.
So, generally, go ahead, say something.
We are sleeping in the kitchen.
We're sleeping in the kitchen.
Yeah, we have family visiting, and we're gonna give the bedroom to Brittany's parents. And the kids are gonna be sleeping down here in this room, the dining room kind of kitchen combo, on the floor in sleeping bags. That's why. Cause
It's all right.
all right. So laundry and
Back to
cooking.
schedule. Usually, our older kids are 8, 9, 10. Usually the girls take on the girls' laundry, the boys take on the boys' laundry. They wash it, dry it, fold and put away, and I'll help with the younger kids. And we usually do a couple loads a day. Just keeps going, and sometimes we'll have 4 or 5 loads piled up, and we'll take it all in the family room, and we'll turn on some music or a show, and we all just pitch until it's done, and we just do it. Not always a great routine. Sometimes you just have a rhythm in life that works for a month or so. Sometimes it works for a year, and then you change it up. But
That's right.
just always
Teamwork. I'll answer this in one word. Teamwork. Next question.
Cooking. Just a minute. Okay. Breakfast and lunches are pretty simple. The kids can fix it for the most part themselves. Occasionally I'll fix a special breakfast, or we'll do something fun for lunch, but toast, oatmeal. I like to have sometimes some baked muffins or something in the freezer that we can thaw, like on a church day or something, to have a quick and easy breakfast. But for the most part, I assign 1 or 2 kids to make breakfast for the youngest kids, and then they all make the rest of their own breakfast. Same thing for lunch. I'll pull out, say we're having sandwiches and chips today. Go for it.
Yep.
And pretty much they can do it. Dinners I usually make. I have lots of helpers who love to help. Karina's actually helping me right now, stirring up the macaroni. We meal plan for a 2-week period and do one big grocery shopping trip. And actually, we normally have 2 refrigerators, but right now, because of the renovation, I only have 1, and we've made it work. It's also cold outside, so you can always throw some things in the garage.
Yep.
Not your meat or dairy, but other things in the garage, and it's keeping it pretty cold. So, yeah, that's how we do that. It works for our family. That's how we've always done it. We've always done 2 weeks since it was just us, really. I mean,
Yep.
just
Back
make it
when
work.
we'd spend like $40 or $50, and we'd be like, that was an expensive shopping trip.
Yeah.
Now I think we spend $40 on just milk every 2 weeks.
Not for much
Not quite,
longer.
but yeah, it's true.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like the baby. You wanna go get her while I start this question?
Sure.
So while she's rescuing the little one who's crying, sounds like she might have got her feelings hurt or got hurt. Who knows? Another question that we have is, what do we do to preserve our meat? We butchered our pigs, we butchered ducks and geese and everything. Predominantly, we just freeze it right now. We have a deep freeze that's out in the barn garage right now. We're gonna get some extra freezers and refrigerators, and we vacuum seal the meat after we butcher, and we put it in the freezer to store it. It stays fresh and delicious for a very long time. And we've never really done any other preservation methods, although we did cure our own bacon. And this year, with the pigs that we're getting, we're gonna obviously cure all the bacon again, but I'm gonna try curing some hams, and I don't know what else, but we'll cure them and then smoke them. Another really good question is, what are some of the less commonly used cuts of meat? Pretty much anything that's not a major cut. When we did the pigs, like the tenderloins, the ribs, roasts, hams, we pretty much made sausage, ground it all up, which a lot of people do. Now there are like flank steaks and flat iron steaks, and there's another one I'm blanking on what they are called. And these are typically beef. And some of these cuts of the lesser known steaks that you just don't see very often are actually lesser known because they're inside of like another big meat piece, like a big roast or something. There's like a piece of steak you could get out of it. But if you do that, then the butcher now has two smaller, like half roasts or half like out of a front shoulder or something, and has that cut apart. Or they're more difficult to get to, and it's not worth the time that they spend getting that piece of meat. So a lot of these pieces of meat that are like steaks that aren't well known are typically, they call them butcher's cuts. They're things that later that the butcher keeps for themselves, and they get a delicious steak. Anything extra that's, just the extra meat, like on the legs, that we're not going to do like a whole shank or something. We'll just cut it up and we'll just put it in with some fat and grind it up and make sausage. Or
You can also do just chunks and do like stew meat.
Stew meat. That's true.
In fact, we saved bones that had little bits of meat on it from the
that's
pork.
right.
They were pretty lean pigs. We had to butcher them early. But we saved every bone we could with any meat on it and vacuum sealed and froze those. And then I pull them out and roast them and make like pork and beans or some kind of a soup. And so it takes a little more effort, but you can scrape those bones off and get every last little bit of meat on them, and it's still delicious. You just gotta get a little creative in how you're gonna use it.
That actually brings up a good point. It's not necessarily a cut of meat, but like the marrow of the bones. When you cook and make bone broth, that's what you're getting. There's also ways that you can bake a larger bone and actually crack it open and get the marrow out, and it's like a butter almost consistency once you heat it up, and you can use that for on top of a cut of meat that you're cooking, or use it in a frying pan to grease the pan or something. So I mean it's really healthy, the bone broth. That's really just packed with nutrients.
One of our animals recently, might have been the turkey broth, I can't remember, that I made. Mm-hmm. When it's cold, it's like right. Jello.
Yep.
So one of my kids was looking at it and was like, ew, what did you do to the broth? And I'm like, no, this is the best broth there is. It just gets cold and hard from all the gelatin and the
fat.
The bone marrow inside. So
it's good. It's absolutely delicious. Like you make a pack of ramen noodle soup. It's good. You do the water and you do the little packet of spices. But we've done where we just take the dry noodles out and we don't even use the spices, and you just put it in the broth. We've done it in pork broth, and we've done it in turkey or chicken broth. It's absolutely delicious. So, all right, that's it for those questions. And then I had something I thought would be fun to kind of allow you guys to get to know us better. As I just wrote down a couple simple questions of kind of between Brittany and I that it's not a game. I don't know how to say it other than like who's for instance, who's more organized? And I think we would both agree that it's not me at all.
I can be very organized when I want to, and I can take breaks from organization.
Yeah.
Said corner over here of massive kitchen boxes of stuff that I just don't feel like organizing right now.
That's right. Don't look over there.
But generally, I'm more organized.
Yes. And then, who is more handy? So this one's definitely me. I had to put in a question where I knew the answer was going to be me, so I could win a question.
You won that one.
But yeah,
I like more handy.
I like being handy. I'm more handy when I know I've got the right tools or the right pieces. I'm not quite the MacGyver handy, but for instance with our brooder, which is going to be the video you guys will see in the weekend here, I tried to get some pieces off of like the barn lumber off of like an old shelf hay stack something or other that they had built, and it just wasn't working, and it was frustrating me, and I had no creativity to actually build the brooder out of that, strictly because, stay off the table for me, bud. Off.
Because you're gonna bump the camera.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, now go upstairs or go downstairs. Yeah.
Just for a few minutes.
Yes,
We're
Dad.
almost done. And then we're gonna eat macaroni in just a minute. Maybe go check in a second.
And so I had like zero creativity to build it out of that wood because it was breaking and it wasn't coming apart the way I wanted, and it was frustrating. But when I just went and bought the wood, we had it actually delivered here, I was able to get the frame set up, which you'll see, and then probably in the next day or two I'm gonna actually finish filming that project, and you guys will see it. So I am handy, but I prefer to do things not the MacGyver way. I do a lot better when I can go and I can get the pieces that I actually need. It helps.
Yeah. In fact, I'll say you're so handy that you've enabled me to fix things while you were gone.
true.
And able to talk me through them, like when our well pump went out the one time.
I was gonna say that there was a good story of the well pump. I don't even remember what was wrong, but Brittany.
Somebody bumped and an electrical piece got unattached.
Yeah, that's right. So Brittany was smart enough about this kind of stuff where she was able to, with me on the phone talking her through it, she was able to kind of troubleshoot and get it so that it was working, and then they had water in the house, which is a benefit. Water is, if you don't know, is excellent. And anybody who's lived in a house where the water heater's gone out, where they haven't had water, which we had water, but we only had it through a bathtub when we first moved here. That was it.
And
It was
not
only
hot.
cold. That was it. All we had was cold water.
That was
It's
fun.
important. And then last question. Who out of you and I is the person who wants more animals than the other?
Clearly I do.
I would say we both
kidding.
want animals. I'm the let's order 100 birds. We'll deal with it later. We'll build a chicken tractor and we'll, set up
You're
a
the
pen
dreamer.
for them. Yeah,
You're the dreamer.
definitely.
You've got the dream behind this.
That's right.
And I keep us grounded in reality.
She's the dream crusher. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
She's grounded in reality. We'll go with that. Well, that was it. That's all the questions that we had. If you guys have more questions, just let us know in the comments. Preface it maybe with question, because I tend to lose the comments, and I have to go back and scroll through and be able to find them. And then we'll ask again on our Instagram and on our Facebook. So if you're not following us, Hashley Farms on Instagram, Hashley Farms on Facebook. If you search it, you'll find us. And we are rolling out a website. It's kind of completed, so if you Googled and searched, it wouldn't be hard to find. It is not all the way set up, although purchasing eggs, if you're local, is set up. And one of our very first actual blog posts, where we were just editing it today. Another question: who is the articulate editor person of the two? Definitely her. We'll just stick with I'm a Dreamer.
You wrote an excellent blog post that was dreaming up,
There you go.
right?
There you go.
Just gonna edit it.
So that'll be live probably in the next couple of weeks. We'll have a couple things put on it, and we'll really push people to go visit the site. That's where, when we have meat for sale, when we have fertilized eggs for sale, that's where it'll be at. Anything else? Can you think of anything?
That's good. Jay, don't touch the table.
Yeah, get off the table, sweet pea. I think that's it. You guys have a great day. We'll see you on the next video, the weekend one coming up. We will let you know the brutal demise of our rooster, Hey Hey. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And appreciate it. Like and subscribe and share the video.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Mom, give me macaroni.
Yeah, should we go taste it? Let's go taste it.
Mommy, let's go. And you want to
Yeah, we're done.